Good morning, dear hearts. We are at lesson 118 in our review. The two lessons we are reviewing are on the hour, God's peace and joy are mine, and on the half hour, let me be still and listen to the truth. So, if I'm claiming God's peace and joy, does that involve any loss for either God or for anyone else? Well, of course, the answer is no. God's gifts of peace and joy and love are always abundant. They are always renewing themselves, replenishing themselves, and in more and more greater and greater quantities because they are endless. They are limitless. And there's no conditions that I must accept in order to claim God's peace and joy. All I have to do is be willing to receive them. Now, in the italics part of today's lesson, it says, today I will accept God's peace and joy in glad exchange for all the substitutes that I have made for happiness and peace. And as I read that this morning, what popped into my head is the ego is a substitute teacher. The ego steps forth and says, no, I'll teach you. Listen to me. See what I have to offer. But of course, we know that anything that the ego has to offer is one, in limited supply, and two, and even more important, it's an illusion, and it will only cause us to be in a state of delusion. We do not need the ego to teach us. We instead accept the real teacher, the voice for God, to be our teacher, to be our guide. Which leads me to the second lesson for review, that let me be still and listen to the truth. Let my own feeble voice be still and let me hear the mighty voice for truth itself. Assure me that I am God's perfect child. So the thing is with this, and it's something that I've mentioned before, and it bears repeating, is that let me be still and listen to the truth. When I am in a state of unrest and chaos and anger and completely out of my mind, then I cannot hear the voice for God, because the voice for God is that still voice. And what always happens is that the voice that speaks first and loudest is the one that I will hear first, because I always hear the voice that is closest to me. And unfortunately, the ego voice resides within my head, as does the voice for God. They're both in my mind, but the ego voice is closer to my awareness most of the time. And what I see as I look out onto an egoic world, I will hear the voice that mirrors what I am seeing. So in order for me to hear the voice for God, I must be still so I can listen to the truth, because the truth is very willing to come to me when I am in a state of peace that I can actually receive it. And of course, this goes again to giving and receiving. They're one in truth, and it is a reversal of how we think about giving and receiving in this world. So when I am quiet, I can receive the voice for God. I can hear the voice for God, which will often sound exactly like my voice or your voice, but it will bring me a different sense of calm, and that's how I will know which voice I am hearing. So let me be still and listen to the truth. Let me listen for the truth. Let that be all that I do today. So that's it. I hope this helped. I hope you are hearing the truth. It's your heritage. And please like, please share, please subscribe. Please subscribe and comment, and please be here tomorrow. Namaste.